Hello there, fellow taxpayers. Welcome to a journey that might seem daunting but is incredibly important. Today, we're diving into the thrilling world of international taxation. Yes, you heard that right. Thrilling. Buckle up, because it's about to get wild. Taxes might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of excitement, but understanding them is crucial for navigating our global economy. In our increasingly interconnected world, goods and services flow freely across borders. This means that businesses are no longer confined to their home countries. They operate on a global scale. It's like a giant capitalist game of ping pong, with money and goods bouncing back and forth across the globe. But with this dynamic flow comes a web of tax regulations that can be quite complex. However, alongside this flurry of economic activity comes the complexities of taxation. Each transaction, each movement of goods, and each service rendered across borders can trigger tax obligations in multiple jurisdictions. Each country has its own set of tax laws, creating a bit of a headache for businesses operating globally. Imagine trying to play a game where every player has a different rulebook. This is where the concept of international tax harmonization comes in. It's an effort to streamline and simplify tax regulations across different countries. This aims to create a more level playing field for businesses operating in different countries. By aligning tax policies, countries can reduce the administrative burden on businesses and promote fair competition. Think of it as trying to get everyone to agree on the same set of rules for a global game of Monopoly. When everyone plays by the same rules, the game becomes fairer and more predictable. International tax harmonization can lead to numerous benefits, including increased economic growth, more efficient markets, and reduced tax evasion. It helps create a stable environment where businesses can thrive. So, while taxes might not be the most glamorous topic, understanding them and the efforts to harmonize them is essential for anyone involved in the global economy. Stay tuned as we explore this fascinating subject further. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep those calculators handy and your tax knowledge sharp. It's all about teamwork. In today's interconnected world, teamwork isn't just about working well within your own company. It's about countries working together too. So, why bother with harmonizing taxes? Why should countries go through the effort of aligning their tax systems? Well, there are several good reasons. Firstly, it helps countries coordinate their tax policies. When countries are on the same page, it creates a more predictable and stable environment for businesses. This prevents businesses from exploiting loopholes and dodging taxes. Imagine a world where companies can't just hop from one country to another to avoid paying their dues. That's right, we're looking at you, multinational corporations with your fancy accountants. Harmonized taxes mean fewer tricks up their sleeves. Secondly, aligning tax rates between countries can make the global marketplace fairer. When tax rates are similar, businesses compete on a level playing field. This reduces the chances of companies relocating solely for tax benefits. Instead, they can focus on other important factors like talent, infrastructure, and market potential. It's like trying to stop people from moving to a new country just because they have better snacks. Sure, snacks are great, but there are other things to consider too. Finally, standardizing how taxes are calculated simplifies cross-border transactions. When businesses know what to expect, they can plan better and operate more efficiently. This saves businesses time and money, allowing them to focus on what they do best, making money, and hopefully paying their fair share of taxes. In the end, harmonized taxes can lead to a more equitable and prosperous global economy for everyone. So the next time you hear about tax harmonization, remember it's not just about numbers. It's about creating a fairer, more predictable world where businesses can thrive and contribute to society. And that, my friends, is why harmonizing taxes is worth the effort. It's all about teamwork on a global scale. The current global tax system is a bit like a patchwork quilt, a mix of different systems sewn together. Each country has its own set of rules and regulations, creating a complex web that businesses must navigate. Some countries have a territorial tax system, where only income earned within the country is taxed. Others have a worldwide tax system, taxing all income regardless of where it is earned. This disparity can lead to double taxation, or, conversely, to tax avoidance strategies. This can create confusion and complexity for businesses operating internationally. Companies often need to hire specialized tax consultants to navigate these waters, adding to their operational costs and administrative burden. Imagine trying to navigate a city where every street has a different speed limit and traffic rules. One moment you're driving at 60 miles per hour, and the next, you have to slow down to 30. This is akin to the challenges businesses face with varying tax laws. That's the current state of international taxation. The lack of uniformity can stifle economic growth and create barriers to entry for smaller businesses looking to expand globally. However, there's good news. The world is slowly moving towards more unified tax systems. Efforts are being made to streamline and harmonize tax regulations across borders, making it easier for businesses to operate internationally. Organizations like the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, are working to develop international tax standards. These standards aim to create a level playing field, reducing the opportunities for tax evasion and ensuring that businesses pay their fair share. It's a slow and sometimes tedious process, kind of like trying to herd cats, but progress is being made. The goal is to create a more predictable and transparent tax environment, which will benefit both businesses and governments. As these efforts continue, we can hope for a future where international taxation is less of a maze and more of a well-paved road. This will not only simplify compliance, but also foster global economic cooperation and growth. In the end, a more unified tax system will help businesses focus on what they do best: innovating, growing, and contributing to the global economy. It's a work in progress, but the destination is worth the journey. Now let's talk about fairness. When it comes to international taxation, the concept of impartiality is key. Nobody likes a biased referee, and the same goes for tax systems. This is where Robert L. Dernberg's rules for impartial international taxation come in. Dernberg, a renowned tax expert, proposed 3 basic rules to ensure fairness in international taxation. These rules are like the 10 commandments of international taxation, except there are only 3 of them. They essentially state that a country should not discriminate against foreign income or taxpayers. It's about creating a level playing field for everyone, regardless of where their money comes from. Section 5. Tax reciprocity. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Another important concept in international taxation is tax reciprocity. This is like a friendly agreement between countries to avoid double taxation of the same income. For example, imagine you're a US citizen working in the UK. Without tax reciprocity, you'd be taxed on your income in both countries. Ouch! Tax treaties between countries often include provisions for tax reciprocity. These treaties are like international peace treaties, but instead of preventing wars, they prevent double taxation. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved. Section 6. Different economies, different challenges. Of course, not all countries face the same challenges when it comes to tax policy. Developed economies, with their established tax systems, have different priorities compared to developing economies. It's like comparing the challenges of maintaining a vintage car to those of building a brand new one from scratch. Developed economies might focus on issues like tax competition and tax avoidance by multinational corporations. On the other hand, developing economies might prioritize building efficient tax administrations and attracting foreign investment. Section 7. A harmonious future, a win-win for everyone. So, what does the future hold for global tax harmonization? While it's difficult to predict with certainty, one thing is clear: harmonization is essential for a fair and efficient global economy. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, the need for a coordinated approach to taxation will only grow stronger. Imagine a world where businesses can operate across borders without facing a bewildering array of different tax laws. Imagine a world where governments can effectively collect taxes and use those revenues to fund essential public services. That's the promise of global tax harmonization. Section 8. Keep the tax conversation going. And that, my friends, is a glimpse into the complex and ever-evolving world of international taxation. It's a topic that can seem dry and technical, but it has real-world implications for businesses and individuals alike. So the next time you hear the word taxes, don't just groan and reach for your wallet. Instead, take a moment to appreciate the role that international taxation plays in our globalized world. And most importantly, keep the conversation going.